Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Coaching Think Talk. I am Coach Shaun from Life Coach Philippines, and this is Coaching for Sane Parenting. This coaching conversation are for parents with teenage children who are wanting to create a mentally fit environment at home. And my mission is I am on a mission to help 1 million parents create a mentally fit ecology at home so that they can have a peaceful and harmonious relationship. Thank you for joining me for this live today, and please leave your digital footprints in there in the comment section below. Let me know where you're at, where you're coming from. Asan po ba kayo? Are you working right now? Are you at home? Are you somewhere else in this world? Tag it there, put it there in the comment section. And if you have a friend that you feel that would benefit for this talk, this talk will not just benefit your parents, even for the singles out there, this would help you. Do tag your friend, circulate that in there, and give them some inspiring messages. Yeah, give them that. Uh, so we can reach more people in the digital space. For people, it's a Thursday morning. And let's bless other people naman para may matutunan naman sila this morning, and that they can utilize this as they progress in the day and also in the coming days. So share this links, share this session with them. Let's make an engagement. Let's have fun this morning. You may also give a shout out to some to people you want to greet and reach out to. Give them a shout out there. Put in some comments in there. Tell them, hey, come in, join in. Ayan, si Coach Lin is from nasa Laguna na pala si Coach Lin. Hello, Coach Lin, from Laguna. Hope everything is good in there, especially this weather in the Philippines right now. If you're watching this on a replay, please do comment #replay. I am streaming via FB page of Life Coach Philippines and also YouTube channel Coach AI Connect. If you are new to the platform, please like, follow, and subscribe para you'll get the updates if there are lives in the page and in the page and also in the YouTube page as well. All right. So let's begin. This morning, I wanted to talk to you about, the title here is Permission to Feel. How to teach your children emotional intelligence. Now, when I was growing up, I didn't really know or even have a deeper understanding of what emotions is all about. Even emotional intelligence. It was only recently or in the workplace that I've learned about emotional intelligence. And in my study and my experiences and my research, I realized how important emotional intelligence is, not just for us adults, but also for children. And when I say for children, even when they're growing up, you can start teaching emotional intelligence to them so that they understand how they respond emotionally, how what are the things that they're feeling, how are they expressing them, are they even expressing them in the first place. And this is something that I would want to teach you. So if you're joining me on this live episode, what you will learn today is understand what EQ is. I mean, what is EQ really all about? How does this affect us as an individual, and how does this affect the way that our children see things? How do they see EQ as a skill that they can utilize for them to express themselves? If they have any thoughts in there, if they feel that they're not comfortable, or they have something in their mind and then they're having these experiences, at least we will be able to understand that and how you can utilize in teaching them as they age. You will also learn here why EQ matters for individuals, for our children, most especially, and why your role as a parent matters. I keep on reminding people that the role of a parent is first a teacher. And if you have a mindset of a teacher, that means that all of the things that you say, all of the things that you do, all of the things that you think about revolves around making sure that you're helping your children learn in the process as they grow into adulthood. And lastly, I'm also going to teach you the ruler method. Yeah, and I'm going to teach you a ruler method and how you can utilize this to teach your children how to manage their emotions. So how to learn their emotions. All right. So if you're ready for that, keep on inviting other people in there. My better half is Della as well. Thank you for inviting people, Coach Tin. Invite parents out there. If you know anyone, maybe who could benefit this, just have them join in so that we can bless more people. If this is the first time you're joining me, if this is the first time you're watching me, if this is the first time you're seeing this face, I am Coach Shaun De Hoya, professional CACC life coach and mental health coach. My focus is in the area of self-leadership. Self-leadership is your ability to be intentional in the way you feel, the way you think, and the way you respond. Intentionality means that the kind of experiences that you want to create, the kind of results that you want, that you focus on that consistently. And self-leadership is a skill. It's a skill that you can learn. It's a skill that you can develop. Doesn't need to be perfect. Like me, I'm still continuously mastering the skills of self-leadership because there are still areas of my life that I need to continuously be intentional about how I do things, because I'm 39 years old now. The past 39 years of my life, I've had those default moments of the way that I respond, the way that I think about things, especially coming from the workplace, right? That you have these principles or knowledge that may not be serving you in your season right now. So self-leadership allows you to take a look at things in a broader perspective and make the right decision to adjust or, to improve or develop yourself. I've been a father since I was 19 years old. So I started, having a clarity, having a reality of what life is all about. So 19 years old, I was still in college. Early on, my wife, there's a 7-year gap. My wife is older than me. But that is where I really started with parenting. And, parenting for me, fatherhood specifically, is like, come what may. There is no training manual, there's no instruction guide, there's no, class that you can enroll, what have you, during those times anyway. And the only time that you would be able to learn things how to parent is from our parents. And fortunately, some of the things that our parents knows helps, but some of them may no longer be serving the season right now. And that those are the things that I've learned. And my hope is I will be able to share to you some of the learnings that I have and how you can utilize this on your day-to-day activities and also your day-to-day interaction with your teenage children. I have a son and a daughter. So my daughter is 19 years old. She's an animator now. She's a creative entrepreneur. I call her creative entrepreneur because she's an animator, so she creates. And she also has a business where she asks for commission, or she gets commission. So if you want, to have or to draw an image of a character that you want, just let me know, message me. I would connect you with her so that you guys can talk on what kind of animation or drawing you would want to be drawn. And my son is doing well. He's beside me. He's currently training and improving his skills as a 3D modeling model, ayan, 3D modeling, rendering pala, 3D renderer, ayan. He's doing 3D rendering right now, and his work is just awesome, and hopefully you would be able to see that in the future in his works and what he's doing. What I'm sharing to you again is my learnings for the past 19 years of my journey as a father, as a parent, and the studies about parenting. And let's go ahead and continue with that. And again, my mission, I want to help parents create a mentally fit ecology at home so that they can keep themselves and their family alive to be more peaceful and harmonious. Thank you, Coach Marife, for joining. Thank you for tagging people in there. Let's bless more people so that they can have this nuggets, and also they can share this from with other people as well. Especially yung may mga puso sa pamilya and so sa mga bata, have them join them. They share this as well. If you want to utilize this for your talks, go ahead. Let's spread more. Let's teach more people how they can better improve their relationship with their children. All right. So, the age of emotional intelligence. Coach Sherry Minas, maraming salamat. Yan, si Coach Sherry, alam ko may mga learnings din siya about emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is defined as a person's ability to express and manage feelings appropriately while respecting the feelings of others. Now, if you reflect on it, what mostly happen is yung feeling mo lang yung nako-consider, 'di ba? Yung feeling ng ibang tao yung naki-consider. Yung si day, 'di ba? Yung feelings nila, they got hurt and so on and so forth. But they at times forget that the other person that they hurt, maybe they talk to, maybe they express their feelings, have feelings too. So there's a disconnect and a lack of synergy between those two interactions because it becomes, singular. That the only person, the person that has experienced that emotion is only thinking about themselves and not really considering the feeling of the others. You know, there are different benefits of high EQ or emotional intelligence when you are able to learn with this. I'm gonna put an example in the workplace because our children, as they grow, if you have teenagers, eventually when they grow up as an adult, they will find work or they will do work, they will interact with other people, and EQ would allow them to manage the emotions, especially during times of high stress. There is anxiety. There are times that things are not going well. There are times that you feel that the world is crumbling down and it's the end of the world for you. And these are the things that EQ would allow our children to manage themselves well. So, what are the benefits of emotional intelligence? Well, I'll just give you three. There's a lot of benefits in there. You can search the internet, but these are the ones that I've seen that has really helped a lot in my journey and also what I observed with my children. Well, number one, the biggest is high EQ is linked to high IQ. So, when you're able to manage your emotions, it means that you're able to think well because you're not allowing your emotions to respond to the situation. You're allowing your, logical thinking, your thinking that you can decide correctly. Because, sabi nga, di ba, you don't make a decision when you're angry, when you're sad, when you feel anxiety. Don't make a decision that way. Make a decision when you're joyful and happy about the life that you have right now. Emotional intelligence benefit is also creating a better relationship with your spouse, better relationship with your children, better relationship with your parents, better relationship with your boss. Because you're able to respond in a way that is fair, that is, win-win situation. That is not just, it's you or the other person who's benefiting. And lastly, the benefit of emotional intelligence is improved mental health. Our daughter was clinically diagnosed with depression when she was 16. And one of the things that we've learned, she's 19 years old now, is really allowing her to, verbalize the emotions that she's having and to accept and acknowledge that what she's feeling is true. And as a parent, we need to have that skill for us to put ourselves in the perspective of our children. Because if we're not able to do that, then our children will eventually wall up because we're not acknowledging what they're saying. Have you ever experienced a time in which you were sharing to your parents some emotions, some problems? Then eventually, instead of your parents being there to support you, to understand you, what happens is they start denying your feelings. They're saying that no, it's not true, or you're feeling it's not true. You're better than that. So as you progress, you would rather not share it because people don't understand. Your parents don't understand. So these are the things that we need to consider because it's a skill that the parents that we need to teach our children at a very early age. So even if you have a kid right now who's not yet a teenager, maybe they're just growing up, a toddler, what have you, or a young adult, you need to start to teach them emotional intelligence. Now, why emotional intelligence matter? I'll share to you what the research says, and I'm gonna focus on again. This is focused on work, and I want to be able to put things in perspective on why it is important when our teenage children starts working. Nearly 90% of top performers have the higher level of emotional intelligence. So people who's performing in the workplace and performing in their business and what have you, they have 90% um, top performers have high emotional intelligence because again, they're able to manage their emotions. They're not just able to react to it, they're really intentionally acting on it. Hello, Coach Candy, thank you for joining. Ting Ting, maraming salamat, thank you for joining. Hopefully I pronounce your name right. Coach Lynn, maraming salamat again for tagging your friends out there. Emotional intelligence accounts for 90% of career advancement when IQ and technical skills are roughly similar. So if you think about it, emotional intelligence, especially during stressful situations, you're able to make a respond in a way that is helpful for you and also helpful for the other person concerned. It's not just a one-way street. Emotional intelligence is being able to relate to the person so that you can help them, support them, not solve their problems. Mga men, mga men out there, we're problem solvers, but we need to start learning EQ because EQ is not really solving a people problem. It's allowing ourselves to manage the way our emotions or our responses and also being putting ourselves in the space of the person who is experiencing some challenges. Why emotional intelligence matters? Well, emotional intelligence is responsible for 58% of your job performance. So imagine that. That's very significant. That's more than half of the performance that you have. And people with high emotional intelligence makes $29,000 more on average than their counterpart. Now, this is if you are working and if you are employed, but if you are a businessman, you are a entrepreneur, you are a creative entrepreneur, it's much more than that, obviously. And of course, almost 85% of your financial success is due to skills in human engineering, personality, and the ability to communicate and negotiate and lead, which is what EQ is all about. And most people would rather do business with a person they like and trust than someone they don't, even if the person they don't trust is offering a better product at a lower price. So again, EQ is being also able to connect with the other person, with the client, with the person that you're talking to, with your colleague, with people around you to be in a space of empathy and compassion. Because you totally understand or you totally see or you totally hear what they are not saying. That is the power of emotional intelligence. Now, for men out there, for men like me, EQ is something that, it's only recently that me specifically, I started working on, and which I really challenge the fathers out there, fatherhood. If you have a son, please start teaching your son EQ. Because when you're able to teach your son EQ, they're able to respond in a way that's calming, that would allow them to make the right decisions. Because I made a lot of decision when I was emotional and it wasn't helping. It didn't help. I had a lot of relationship and also, a conversation that didn't end well because my emotions got took the best of me. And when we learn this, we understand this, and you're able to teach your son, your daughter on how to respond properly, it just makes the world a better place. And the experience also creates that. And, it also helps with mental health of the individual. Telling someone to change without helping them to change their environment rarely leads to success. I want for you to pause for a moment and really reflect on this thought. At most times, what happens as a parent, we go into problem solving mode. When we see our children not behaving in ways that we would like them to do, behaving in ways that it's not in unison or you don't agree to it, or behaving in ways that you feel that it would hurt them in the future, Instead of us creating that ecology or the safe space for them to learn, to be better, what happens is we tell them what to do. So think about a moment in time in which you consistently, reminded your children, you told them, do this, do this, do this. But is the ecology or the environment at home helping them to learn, helping them to change, helping them to become better? Is that something that's happening? So, how do you make the change? How do you create an environment and an ecology where your children can thrive and can better manage their emotions? Paano kaya? Well, it's simple. You are the change. As a parent, you are the change that our children are waiting for. If you're looking for an instruction manual on how to parent your children, the manual is your children. The manual is your daughter. The manual is your son. We need to start observing our children, having conversations with them intentionally on understanding who they are and what are their needs. And we need to stop putting in, telling them what to do. We need to start asking them what do they want to do so that we can support them. I've grown in a environment and my parents would, just allow me to do the things that I want to do. But they would also put in a lot of different things in me, based on their learnings. Now it's not that it's bad. I mean, our parents always want to do well with us, and even us. That's one thing that we want to do. But most often than not, the things that is being shared is not working for us because we are different. Our children are different from us, and we are different from them. Can you remember a time in which your parents keep on telling you, do this, do this, do this, one, two, three, four, five, six? Are you really able to do it wholeheartedly? That you're able to take action and mirror what they're doing? Or you wanted to do something else? But of course, you're not able to do that because you're not getting the result that you need. So ecology matters. It really matters at home, but you are the change that needs to be, it needs to happen in you first. So how do you teach children EQ? Paano natin tuturuan? I'll share to you the brackets approach to teaching emotional intelligence, which is called the ruler method. Uh, this is from Mark Brackett, a professor at Yale University's Child Study Center and director of the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. And it outlines that found to be remarkably effective strategy for not just cultivating your emotional intelligence, your children's emotional intelligence, but also your emotional intelligence. Because you need to understand first so that you can understand other people. Diba? Knowledge is the beginning of wisdom. And if you know more about how the way that you feel, the way that you think, and the way that you act, then you would be able to come into a space of understanding of why your children are doing this and what adjustments you can do to be better. So let's begin. The ruler, principle, the ruler method. Letter R is first you need to recognize your emotions in oneself and also in others. Oneself and others, not others first then you. Recognize your emotions. Like when you feel angry or when you're angry, is it really anger? Like you would say, galit ako. Anong galit? What does that mean? What does it mean to be angry? You need to be very specific on how you recognize your emotions. Because when you understand your emotion, you recognize your emotions that, hey, I'm angry, I'm irritated, I'm not feeling well, different type of emotion, you would understand as well that the other person are experiencing similar emotions as you. Well, not the same, again, similar. Then letter U is understand the causes and consequences of your emotion. Like, where is this emotion coming from? Was this triggered by someone being unruly? Was it triggered because your son, your daughter, broke something at home? Was it because they dropped the egg and you went ballistic afterwards? Nabasag lang yung itlog, kawawa naman yung bata. Napagalitan na, napagsigawan na, napalo na, just for a piece of egg who's worth less than 5 pesos. And what are the consequences of these emotions? When you continue to fire it up, put some wood in there, what happens when you continue to feed it? So understand what causes it and the consequences of it, so that it gives you ample time to keep, to manage yourself, to take control of yourself, so that you don't respond in a way that is destructive for you, not for other. Ikaw muna yung magsa-self-destruct. Letter L is labeling emotions with precise words. When I was growing up, the only thing that I knew about anger is galit ako. Yun, galit ako, nakakagalit, ganyan lang. But I was not really intentional about if it's an irritation, is it irritation? Is it that you're just didn't like what the person was doing? Is it because that the result or the experiences that you are expecting is not what's expected? Label that precise emotion. Put that into words. Verbalize it. Because when you're able to verbalize it, you're able to understand if that emotion really holds true for you. Rather than just people telling you that, hey, this is what you're feeling right now. Nope. Because again, the experience is different to you and the other person. E is expressing your emotions and taking context and culture into consideration. It doesn't mean that you'll just bombard your children with different thoughts, different words, different actions, different facial expressions, what have you. Taking context and culture into consideration. And context and culture means to understanding how are you expressing these emotions. Is these emotions allowing your children to learn, to understand that the actions that they did is either hurting you or affecting you, or it's triggering you? So how are you currently expressing your emotions in a way that you're educating your children? And you're educating your spouse too. At times my wife and I would quarrel, would have disagreements. Would have these disagreements, and eventually it goes into an argument, and emotion starts popping in. And we started to reflect on it to understand, where is this trigger coming from? Why do I get angry? I just said this word, then all of the sudden everything is not doing well. Everything is good here, then eventually it went south. So what happened between those transition? And being able to respond in a manner that allows the other people to understand makes the change a lot better. Goes back to you again as a parent. Because you need to change if you want your children to change. And lastly, the R, regulating your emotions effectively. Regulating your emotions effectively to achieve goals and well-being. How do you regulate? Regulation is, from within, then eventually in the outside, it's already managed. It's not regulating that someone is holding you back. No, don't beat your children or shout at your children. That's not it. Regulating starts with you, from within, then to out. Like, how are you currently regulating your emotions when your children are not doing the house chores, when they're not cleaning up the dishes, when their clothes are all over the place, when they have bad grades? By the way, bad grades, what does that mean? Is negative, is less, grade 70, a grade of 70, a bad grade, or is that a good grade? I mean, you need to be clear about that so your children understands. Now, here I'm going to share to you how do you start labeling emotions. And you can get a screenshot of it. If you want to copy, just let me know. Here, it would start identifying what you're feeling. Like, what is it you're feeling right now for this very moment? For the last 30 minutes that we were talking about this topic, what are you feeling right now? Are you feeling fear? Do you feel anger? Do you feel sadness? Do you feel surprised? Or do you feel joy? And take a moment to deep dive in that layer. What happens for most people is they stop in that inner layer. They don't expand towards really identifying what the emotions or what the feeling is all about. Like when you're angry, are you irritable? Mostly that's what happened to me, because you're annoyed or aggravated. Me, most of the time when I'm angry, I'm irritated and annoyed. I'm just annoyed at that person. I'm annoyed because that person doesn't understand. I'm annoyed because that person, hey, I told you everything already. Why are you not doing it? That's why I did life coaching. I got certified as a life coach because it's tiring telling your children what to do. Just ask them what to do. It's a much better experience. It's a much joyful experience. I'm happy and I'm also delighted. So I'm delighted. My feeling is delight because I see them growing to be better versions, and they're responding in a ways that it's helpful for them. Not for me, because eventually they'll get married and they'll leave this place. They'll leave my house, and they'll buy their own house, buy their own car, have their own business or maybe work. Not really sure what they want, and it will end up well. And you just need to be there until the day you die, because parenting doesn't stop. Parenting stops when you're dead. So you continuously to help them, coach them, emotional coaching. There's really great value in coaching. I've been a certified life coach for 3 years now. I went full time 2 years ago, because I see the value of this. I see the value of how I need to develop myself. I need to invest on myself. I need to continuously have this growth mindset so I would know which areas of my life that I needed to improve. And with the last 2 years of my life, I tell you, it has been I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed to have a tribe that supports me. Even at times, I do stupid things. Master Coach Jasmine, thank you for joining me. Even at times, you have these dumb moments. I mean, it's a fun experience. There's a lot of dramas here and there, but that's okay because you're able to grow better. You're able to be better, and it's a wonderful experience. So start labeling your emotions. I mean, really label and be honest with yourself. For once in your life, just be totally honest. Do this for you, not for anyone else. Because when you're working on yourself being better, I tell you, your children will become better. I mean, this morning my son just, watered the plants and cleaned up the floor. I'm so proud. I didn't. I mean, I told him to do it before, but them taking the initiative of doing this, makes my stress and my patience worthwhile. So eventually, your children will take action. It's only a matter of time. But the most important thing there is your consistency. That when you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it. When you say you're gonna support them, support them. When you commit, commit and do it. So what's next? What can you do as a parent? How can you develop? How can you improve this? How can you learn emotion coaching? I've been doing this for the past 2 years. When I've learned about emotion coaching, that is what I help my children with. And I want to be able to, receive this blessing. This blessing, this has been a wonderful journey for me by far so far. And this certification class, I want to introduce to you the Co-Actively Co-Create Life Coach Certification Program. If you want to learn emotion coaching, if you want to understand how your children respond and how you respond and how you feel and how you respond, join in this life coaching certification. This is not just for people who want to monetize their talent. If you are someone who wants to be a personal growth coach and you want to utilize this certification program, this skill, this knowledge to help your children become better people of this world, I mean, life coaching would allow you that. And this co-actively co-create, the reason it's called co-actively co-create, it's because it's a partnership within you and your children. It's not a workplace setting where you tell your children what to do. It's not workplace. It needs to be a partnership. Both need to work individually and together. Because when you're able to improve yourself, when the other person are able to improve themselves, you come together, that's synergy. And synergy, I tell you, when you're able to master that, when you're a proficient in it, then eventually you master it. It's just a joyful moment. You appreciate them. You appreciate your kids. You appreciate your parents. You appreciate other people. And most importantly, you appreciate yourself. So, how will coaching help you as a parent? You might ask, okay, coach, I think that will work for me, but how can it help in parenting? Number one, it will help you reestablish positive family relationship. You know, when you are, when you exude positivity, when you're grateful, when you're appreciative of people, the ecology just changes. Because as a parent, children look up to you. You are like kings and queens. And as much as possible, they want to please you. I've seen my daughter sometimes be emotional because she wants to please us. But because there's a gap in the communication, we needed to harmonize those two so that we both understand where the two are coming from. And it's a wonderful experience when you see your children have a realization that, okay, that is why it's like this. That's why my mom is like this. That's why my dad is like this. That's why I'm like this. So I need to make an adjustment. Both need to adjust, not because to please the other, but because it's the right thing to do. And coaching also helps improves communication lines. This one is powerful. When two people are talking in synergy, I tell you, there's just a lot of progress. And that's a powerful way for you to better the relationship. It also builds confidence and self-efficacy in parents and children. That your children see themselves as an individual. That they don't need to continuously please their parents. That they know that, hey, this is something that I want and I need your support. And when you're seeing your children doing the things that they love and you're supporting them, powerful. And lastly, developing problem solving skills and creativity skills. Uh, I've seen my daughter and my son start working on their talents, and you know that you don't really need to enforce anything with them. You just need to continuously ask them questions that would allow them to think for themselves. and remind them. Be an accountability partner. That's why it's partnership. Be accountable. Be accountable, so that you continuously remind them, hey, this is what I know. This is what you want. So if this is still what you want, or you're moving somewhere else, or you're doing something else, let me know so I can support you. That is the power of life coaching is all about. Now you might say, Coach, I feel that I'm not ready yet, for coaching, being certified. Okay, let's start. How about getting a coach, a parent coach? Why do you know? How do you know if you need a coach? I'll give you a checklist. You can get a screenshot of it. Number one, if there are behavior problems, a life coach would help you find effective ways to address issues such as aggression, sibling rivalries, minsan nag-aaway yung magkakapatid, and defiance. They don't want to follow you or do what you've asked them to do. If you have stress-related parenting issues, a life coach would help you find ways to take care of yourself and manage your stress. Because nakaka-stress naman talaga ng maging parent, diba? Ang daming ginagawa, especially for mom out there. I know how stressful it is. Number three is development activities. Help you create strategies that support your child's physical, emotional, and social development, so that they become better, they respond better, they're more healthy. Also, parenting during transition or crisis, especially at times we're in crisis. Help you to be the best parent you can do during crisis or hardship, such as, if there are divorce or separation or loss of a loved one. A life coach would help you there. And lastly, practical problems, which will help you create a plan to address child care issues or educational problems. If your children are not performing at school, I tell you, getting a life coach would help. My son has challenges with his grades. He's doing very well. Just changing the way that you converse with them and how you're supporting them. So again, let me invite you, join us. Actively co-create life coach certification program. This is going to be the best investment that you will give to yourself and your family. It's a long-term investment. And an investment means that you continuously will work on improving yourself. There's really power in understanding who you are. Because when you understand yourself, it's just automatic that you do better, that your conversation becomes better, that your relationship becomes better, that all of those, shit that you've done in the past, you'll able to understand it and make sense of it today so that you can do better in the future. So join us. Coach Joanna is joining this batch right now, and I think it's just a wonderful thing. Connect with Coach yourself, 0917-586-1661. You can also message connect at mastercoacha.com. Send her an email. Join this profession. Parents can make such a significant impact to their children, and not just your children, even the future. Because your children will become bosses. They will become businessmen. They will become, employees maybe in the future. They will become somebody, and they will interact with other people. And if you're able to help them manage their emotions, if you're able to help them manage the way they feel, I tell you, their relationship will just be bliss. It's not perfect, but at least you're starting, rather than them doing it on the latter part of their life. I tell you, they will thank you for it. Because when you love your children, when your children see that you love them, they will love you back. I experienced that. And my hope is you would be able to experience that too, because it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful experience. It's a wonderful, at times I cannot articulate or express it in ways because I'm a man, not really emotional, still working on that. But it's a wonderful feeling that you see them growing, you see them getting better, you see them progressing, you see them having better relationship with people. So connect with Coach yourself, 0917-586-1661. If you have any questions, if you need anything, let me know. If you need parenting support, just message Life Coach Philippines. I would be happy to support you. There's a lot of coaches in here that will guide you and help you as you progress in your lifetime. All right? So thank you very much for joining me. You can email me or message me at coachshaunDioya@gmail.com. Or if you need anything, if you have any questions, feel free to message me or call me 0917-586-1661 or visit my page, Coach Shaun D. Hoya. All right? So maraming salamat for joining me this morning. As I end this conversation, let me invite you to be part of what we are doing as an organization of professional certified life coaches. Do join us for another episode of Coaching Conversations later with Coach Nords at 2 p.m. Later, that's 2 p.m. And at 4 p.m., it's going to be Coach Phoebe for Coaching for Self-Literacy. Coach Nords is coaching for intentional living. So if you want to be intentional with all of the things that you do in life, that's going to be Coach Nords, and Self-Literacy is going to be Coach Phoebe. And again, I would like to also continuously invite you. I cannot stress this more. Join the Co-Actively Co-Create Life Coaching Certification Program. This is a comprehensive learning approach to learning and mastering life coaching as an active. It's an active, not passive, that you only activate it when you need to. It's active, it's intentional for you to creating a new path to achieving results in life so that success is inevitable in every coaching relationship. It includes a 21-day web-based learning. I think Coach Joanna is in that web-based right now. It's a 3-day live coaching bootcamp that's included with Master Coach A leading that and teaching that, and a 3-day live business bootcamp. So imagine after you go through the 21 days journey, afterwards you get a 3-day live coaching bootcamp. So a business bootcamp, I mean. So you would be able to be supported on how to create your business with a senior coaching team that's all already making income. So the program package also comes with many other bonuses. Again, connect with Coach Rizal through 0917-586-1661 to discover the opportunities waiting for you in this profession. All right? Marami pong salamat for joining me, coaches. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for inviting people out there. Thank you for the notes. Coach Marife, maraming salamat. Coach Arnel, thank you for joining me. Ang ganda nung sinabi ni Coach Marife, be a blessing. Create a better ecology at home. Utilize that ruler principle. I tell you, that will help you a lot. And if you need support, if you feel that there are some areas that's not working, let me know. I would be happy to support you. If you have any questions, let's journey together. All right? Once again, maraming salamat. I am Coach Shaun Hoya from Life Coach Philippines for Coaching Think Talk. Coaches like us think and talk like this. This is us in the Philippines. Thank you very much for joining. La bam boom, la bam boom, la bam boom. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.